The fact of the matter is, the NFL is a passing league now, guys. Welcome to the jungle, everyone. I'm Kyle Phelps, and I'm gonna get so much hate for this one, aren't I? I can already see the dumbasses turning up in droves, right? What year did you play to judge NFL players, idiot? Whatever. Fact of the matter is, it's true. Running backs just don't have the value that they used to have, right? Investing too much in the position in 2023 is a guaranteed way to build your roster on faulty foundations. Now, don't get me wrong, a great running back can and does make a difference. Derrick Henry, for example, is pretty much the whole reason that the Titans have been contenders in recent years. It's no coincidence that Henry's breakout season was in 2019, which was the first of 3 straight playoff appearances for the Tennessee Titans. Although, it should also be noted that Henry was still a backup getting his feet wet in the NFL behind DeMarco Murray the year that the Titans went to the AFC Championship. And again, DeMarco Murray was a big reason for that, right? Either way, Henry has been arguably the reason for the Titans' success recently, and he was drafted in the 2nd round. Not to mention his breakout season only came after being largely disappointing during his rookie contract. Saquon Barkley is another great example of that. He actually did have a pretty solid rookie year after being selected number 2 overall in 2018. He rushed for over 1,300 yards and 11 touchdowns. Throw in a career-high 721 receiving yards, and he tallied over 2,000 all-purpose yards on his way to winning Offensive Rookie of the Year. You know, on a 5-11 Giants team featuring an Eli Manning that I don't think even the Giants believed in anymore under center. He went on to fail to play a full season in any of his next 3 years until this past year when, on a 5th-year option, they're going to be paying him a decent amount, he broke out again for yet another Pro Bowl season. Like Henry, you could make the argument that the Giants' success in 2022 was largely due to Barkley finally returning to his old form. They squeaked by the fraudulent Giants in the 1st round of the playoffs before going on to get absolutely obliterated by the Eagles in the divisional round. So really, the fact that Saquon and Henry propelled their teams to success from the running back position kind of belays the point, really. Yes, running backs can and do make a difference, but it has been a long time, guys, since we saw a running back make such a significant difference for a team that it actually resulted in sustained success, which is really what your 1st round pick is supposed to do, right? So why is that happening? Well, first of all, running back is an extremely violent position to play. Look no further than Barkley to see that he just hasn't lived up to his lofty draft status, and not because he's not talented, but mainly just because he's always rehabbing from injury. My Bengals' Joe Mixon is another good example. The man has started 1 full season in his career, and half the time he's on the field, he looks like he's held back by some sort of nagging injury. The fact of the matter is, the NFL is a passing league now, guys. So, the days of guys like Adrian Peterson and LaDainian Tomlinson winning MVP and being the difference for their team is long gone. Don't get me wrong, a shifty running back who can change the pace of the game on the ground, through the air, and even as an extra blocker in the backfield is valuable. The problem is there's just way too many guys out there who can fill that role. So why would you put such a massive investment in a running back like a 1st round pick? Like, you're really going to revolve your whole offense around an elite running back in lieu of other positions that really could make a bigger impact. Yeah, that worked out great for the Giants, right? Or, for that matter, the Chargers picking Melvin Gordon in 2015, or the Seahawks taking Rashad Penny in 2018, or the Patriots taking Sony Michel in 2018. To be fair to Michel, you kind of have to give him credit for having a great rookie postseason on the way to the Patriots winning Super Bowl 53. He scored the game's only touchdown, which is definitely notable, but even then, Julian Edelman won MVP in that game. Michel has yet to break 1,000 yards in a season, and in fact, he's never started a full season. The closest he came was starting 14 games in 2019, but he hasn't even started 10 since. The Patriots won their 7th Super Bowl after drafting him, so I don't think they're too broken up about that pick, but I noticed that Michel didn't really help much with the post-Brady transition, and he ended up being traded before he ever even came close to finishing his rookie contract. In fact, he's currently on the Chargers, that's his 4th team in 5 seasons. Look, I'm not trying to say running backs don't matter. They absolutely can be vital to a team's success, and a great one can get you over the hump. But all I'm saying is you don't necessarily have to find that in the first round. The top 5 running backs in the NFL right now, in no particular order, you got Christian McCaffrey, Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Austin Eckler, and Saquon Barkley. Chubb and Henry were second rounders, Eckler was undrafted, and Barkley took 5 years to change his team's fortunes. So, you have Christian McCaffrey, who was a first rounder, and he's amazing, but the Panthers, who drafted him, never won a playoff game and were terrible almost every season he was there, and he was hurt for quite a bit of the time he was there. He made a huge difference to the 49ers, right? But that was largely because he had already adjusted to the league. He was ready to go. He was fresh, and he didn't have a lot of wear on his body because of all the time he sat out in Carolina due to injuries or lost seasons. As crazy as it sounds, because there's a lot of people who think you shouldn't pay running backs either, I'd actually rather pay a guy who's like an elite guy who's like 24 to 26 years old, $12 million a season, than take a running back in the first round. Like, you can absolutely find gems on day 2 and day 3 of the draft. Sometimes positional value matters, guys, and with running backs, it absolutely does. But anyway, that's just my opinion on the matter. Let me know what you guys think. I know a lot of the Bengals fans who watch my channel are licking their chops over Bijan Robinson, and maybe he could make a Sony Michel type impact in his first season and get the Bengals over that Super Bowl hump in his first season as a rookie, right? If that's the case, then I'm all for it. But the thing is, when you're drafting, your focus should be on the next 5 years, not just this upcoming season. That's what free agency's for. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comments below, and I'll feature the best ones in my next video, like this one from Ron Murray, who said on my Ezekiel Elliott to the Bengals video, "No! Average running back lasts 2.7 years. And that right there is exactly the point, Ron. It actually ties in with this video quite well. I think that's exactly the reason why you look for deals at running back instead of giving them big contracts or taking them in the first round. The nice thing about Zeke is he has basically no market right now, so the Bengals could pick him up for a reasonable price. They might wait until after the draft to do so just to see what happens, but I mean, I don't think he's ever going to be the old Zeke, but that's the point. You're not paying for the old Zeke. Personally, I'd much rather kick the tires on him than take someone like Bijan Robinson with your first round pick. But we'll see what actually happens when the draft gets here, guys. Until then, y'all can always catch more of what I do at KylePhelps92 on Twitter, Facebook.com/Phelps, But Fumble Sports, the Battle of Ohio podcast on the Spot Pod Network, and right here if you subscribe. I definitely think the Bengals should take a running back this year, just not in the first round. I'll leave y'all, as always, with a hootie!